Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple, easy soap dish. Hooray! This is an oval shaped soap dish, and this is honestly like a couple of minutes. So yep, let's just jump straight into it. First I'm going to create a new component, which is something I always do because it's good practice for when you start making more complex parts that have more than one part. It's easier to edit them and manipulate them if they're in separate components. So I'm going to click OK, and it comes up here as menu as a component. I'm then going to rotate my screen. I'm going to use the little box on the corner, click the top plane, and I'm going to click this Create Sketch button. It automatically comes up with a plane. This is the top plane because I've already rotated the screen or the workspace. And I'm going to make an oval shape. So I'm going to click Ellipse. I'm going to hover my mouse over the center point and it will automatically snap into place. This puts the center of the sketch at the origin, which means that it will be defined. So click and bring out, and then you move the mouse up and down to make your oval shape. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to click Escape, and I will dimension this now. I could have dimensioned it as I was making it, but I find it personally easier to dimension it now because it can be difficult to click onto the dimension to make it the correct number, so I just find it so much easier to just do it afterwards. So I'm going to make this about, I think, 130, and then I'm going to make the width this way. I'm going to make it 80, and that is now turned black, so that's fully defined, so I can escape from there and then finish sketch. I'm just going to use my center scroll button to rotate the work screen. Depending on how your Fusion is set up, you might need to do Control, hold Control, and then use the center scroll to rotate. I'm then going to extrude this. So click Extrude, it automatically selects the sketch, and you can extrude however far you want to extrude. So I'm going to extrude by 7 millimeters. Actually, I'm going to make that 10. Let's make that 10. So if you go into the bar at the bottom, you can right click on the component that the extrude you've just made and click Edit Feature, and then just go back in and change the number. So I'm going to make that 10 on the distance. Nice. Now I'm going to want to look at the bottom face. I'm going to go in with click on Modify and click on Chamfer, and then I'm going to select this bottom edge. It's not the face, the edge, and I'm going to type in, what do I want? Let's try 5, maybe a bit more, 8. 8's a bit better. There we go, and click OK. And so what that does is that's made a chamfered edge, or a beveled edge really, on the underside of the soap dish. What I'm going to do next is these edges are a bit pointed here and here, so I'm going to click again Modify and then Fillet, and I'm going to click that edge there, and then this edge at the bottom. So those two are the ones that are selected, and I'm going to put those, try 5, no, it's a bit much, 3 millimeters, and click OK. So that is my dish, but obviously I need a hole in the middle, because otherwise the soap will just fall straight off. So I'm now going to click shell, and the reason I'm doing this last is because the shell will now match the shape that I've made on the underside. It will make it on the inside. So click shell, click the surface that you want to be shelled, as in that will be the bit where it sculpts out the material from. And then in the inside thickness, you need to put what thickness you want left behind. So I'm going to go for 2mm because for me that's enough for what I'm doing. So I'm going to click OK. And then that is a really quick and simple soap dish. So I'm now going to save this. I'm going to call this oval. Oops, spell it correctly. I cannot spell. Oh, turns out my V key isn't very good. Oval soap dish. And save. And then what I'm going to do is export this as an STL file. So it automatically comes up as Autodesk Fusion Archive file, but you need to click on the little arrow and scroll down, and you want it to be an STL file. This is the file that you need to do 3D printing, and then click export. Obviously choose your location, that is the correct location, so I'm not going to change it, and click export. And it comes up with this little message that says export complete, hooray! Now at this point you can open up your Ultimaker Cura or whatever software you're using to splice or slice. Is it splice or slice? I think it's slice. Some of them it's splice. Whatever it is, go into it and then click onto the file button and then click on the file that you need. And then because I made it in the orientation of this being the top and the bottom being the bottom, it automatically comes in the correct orientation, and it also automatically snaps into the middle. So you can move this around a bit, so click on it and it comes up with all these options on the side. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but you can move your arrows however you want to put it. You can also scale it, that's scaling it if you want to make it bigger or smaller. Rotating as well, if you want it to be printed that way, you can. That's fine where it is, and then you can mirror it, and there's other options there. If you want to go into doing all that, you can. I don't really need to, because the way it's been designed, there's really no changes that need to be particularly made to it. So I have also already got my material and nozzle side set up already, but you can go into here and you can change material that you want. Normally it's just in generic, and then these are the main ones you are going to be using. PLA is probably the most common. PETG or PETG is more robust than PLA, but it's more expensive as well. So those are the two most common ones really. But you can use any of these. The TPU 95A, that's a flexible material. But so I'm going to leave it at PETG, and then you've got all the settings on here. And again, I've kind of set this up already as I like it. I print most things standard quality, and infill density, again, I just normally leave it about 20%. It depends on what I'm doing. I might change it if I need it, but that's generally just the generic one that I leave it on. And then if you click on show custom, there are lots of different options that you can do. So some of these I'll go into a bit more in other videos. if needed, but for this one I'm going to keep it simple and just go with what's already there. So now I'm going to click slice, and this is going to tell me how long it will take, and it will also show me the supports that I'll need. I left them on the auto supports or whatever it was set to. What was it set to? That's a good idea. Let's check that. Recommended. Tree touching build plate. Okay. Let's see what it says. So close that, and then if you click preview, so it's on here. The blue is the supports. So it's come up with lots of supports around the edge. That's too many for my liking, I think. So I might just have a little play around with some of this. So if I put everywhere and then click slice again, see what that does. And the reason I prefer less supports is because when you take the supports off, it can leave a little witness mark, which you will need to file away. That has made no difference whatsoever. So let's try normal. And then it can be quite difficult to get the witness mark fully like filed down. So that can be a bit annoying. So yeah, it depends what. Some people like doing all the filing at the end. I prefer to print it and use the thing. So okay, that's even worse. So I'm going to go back to what it was at the beginning. Get rid of that. Yep, that's going to be my best bet, I think. And also the actual contact area. Oh, there we go. So all these little white marks here is where it contacts, and I'm okay filing those down actually. So they will probably they'll need the least amount of filing, so that'll be best. Some people might choose to print this upside down. The problem is you're going to have all the support marks on this face instead, which personally I don't want, because at least if it's on the underside you can kind of hide it a bit better, whereas if it's like right in the middle and on the front, on the top, it's going to be so obvious, so I don't really want that. So I'm going to go with this, and we'll print it and see what happens. But yeah, so if you're doing this now, you would click save to disk, and that would be either a USB stick or a data card, or if your printer is connected to the Wi-Fi, you could send it through the Wi-Fi and it will just receive it. And then you follow the instructions on your printer, and you it will just do what it needs to do, and it will come out and it will be a part, hopefully, as long as it doesn't do it completely wrong, which is not completely unusual for 3D printers. But good luck with it. Let me know how it goes in the comments if you want to, and have a great day.